This is History Replay, this day. What if an ordinary day turned into a nightmare? What if a single day could change the course of history? Let's go back to the 11th day of September, 2001, an ordinary Tuesday morning. People worldwide were busy with their daily lives, unaware of the looming disaster. The world was in a state of relative peace. The Cold War had ended a decade earlier, and the new millennium was seen as a beacon of hope and prosperity. Technology was rapidly advancing, and the internet was starting to change our lives in unexpected ways. It was a time of optimism, of looking forward to a future that seemed full of promise. Nations were forming and changing alliances as global power dynamics shifted. The US stood as a beacon of democracy and freedom, yet its foreign actions were debated. In the Middle East, tensions were simmering, fueled by long-standing conflicts and disagreements. Most of the world was unaware of the looming chaos and destruction. Back home in the United States, it was business as usual. The stock market was buzzing with activity. Schools were filled with the chatter and laughter of children. Airports were busy with travelers, some returning home and others seeking adventures or business. Life was moving at its usual pace, unaware of the extraordinary turn it was about to take. Little did the world know, this day would make a mark in history that would never fade. As the sun rose, so did the unsuspecting victims, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. It was a typical Tuesday morning in New York City. The day started as usual, with people hustling and bustling, ready to take on another workday. The Cold War ended 10 years ago, and the new millennium brought hope. At about 9:15, the routine morning was shattered. Without warning, a commercial airplane, hijacked by terrorists, crashed into the North Tower. The impact was immediate and devastating, ripping a gaping hole in the building. As the news of the horrific incident began to spread, confusion and disbelief filled the air. Before the city could react, another plane hit the South Tower 16 minutes later. This was no accident. It was a calculated, nefarious act of terror. The city that never sleeps was brought to a standstill. Chaos ensued. The streets echoed with sirens as emergency services rushed to the scene. People watched in shock as the once strong towers were now consumed by smoke and fire. The images were a chilling testament to the destructive power of hatred. On the ground, the reactions were a mix of terror, confusion, and disbelief. Strangers held each other, their faces etched with fear and grief. It was a scene of palpable dread, a stark contrast to the usual energy and vibrancy of the city. Above, in the towers, the situation was even more dire. Trapped above the impact zones, hundreds of people faced an unimaginable ordeal. In fear, they called their loved ones, uncertain if they'd ever reunite. In a matter of minutes, the towers that once stood tall were enveloped in smoke and flames. The morning of terror had only just begun, marking the start of a day that would forever change the world. The world watched in horror as the unthinkable happened. In the heart of New York City, amidst the chaos and confusion, the mighty Twin Towers, once symbols of prosperity and human achievement, succumbed to the unthinkable. They collapsed. A cloud of dust and debris enveloped the city, turning day into night. The skyline, once dominated by these colossal structures, was now a scene of devastation. But in the face of this catastrophe, the city responded with a spirit that defied the smoke and the rubble. The city's emergency services sprang into action with a bravery and resilience that was nothing short of heroic. Many first responders and volunteers headed into danger while others fled. Their courage was a beacon of hope in a city shrouded in darkness. First responders risked their lives amid the dangerous rubble of concrete and metal. Their mission was clear: to save as many lives as possible. Their selflessness, even in the face of such overwhelming adversity, was a testament to the human spirit. Meanwhile, the city was reeling. New York City, the city that never sleeps, was brought to a standstill. Streets that were once bustling with energy and life were now filled with shock and disbelief. The immediate impact was profound, casting a long shadow over the city. But even then, the resilience of New Yorkers shone through. They rallied together, providing comfort and support to each other in their darkest hour. This was a day of unimaginable loss and heartbreak. Yet, amidst the rubble and the ruin, the spirit of humanity rose, defiant and unbroken. The actions of the first responders, their courage and determination, became a symbol of hope and resilience. Their heroism was a light in the darkness, a testament to the undying spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. As the towers fell, so did the hearts of millions around the world. In the wake of the devastation, the world stood still. The dust had barely settled when the rescue efforts began. Firefighters, police, paramedics, and citizens united to rescue lives from the World Trade Center ruins. The city's bravest faced an unimaginable task. They worked non-stop among the debris, driven by hope to find survivors. Yet each passing hour, each passing day, brought with it a grim reality. The number of casualties was staggering. Almost 3,000 lives were lost instantly that September morning, leaving irreplaceable voids. Many loved ones were lost, leaving families facing deep and incomprehensible grief. The city was a portrait of loss and despair. Missing person posters wallpapered the city. Each face a tale of a life abruptly halted, each name a silent plea for a miracle. Makeshift memorials filled the city with flowers, candles, and letters, showing enduring love amidst immense sorrow. But amidst the grief, there was resilience. There was strength. There was a city determined not to be broken. People united, aiding strangers and sharing resources, time, and emotions. It was a time of unity, a time when the city's indomitable spirit shone through the darkest of clouds. Yet the scars remained. Physical injuries healed, but emotional and psychological scars took longer to mend. The memories of the loss deeply affected the survivors, marking a day when everything shifted. The city that never sleeps was plunged into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. But even in its darkest hour, it refused to be defeated. After the tragedy, New York City undeniably showcased its heroic spirit. The tremors of the attack were felt around the globe. Like ripples from a stone in a pond, the impact of September 11th spread beyond America's borders. The world watched in shock as the Twin Towers fall changed both New York's skyline and global perspectives. After the event, global nations showed unity with the US, grieving the innocent lives lost. But the echoes of September 11th were not confined to mere sentiments. The event triggered a seismic shift in global security protocols. Airports, once lively centers of excitement, became strongholds of security. Boarding a plane became a detailed process due to the lasting impact of that tragic day. The political implications, too, were profound. September 11th marked the beginning of the War on Terror, a conflict that would shape international relations for decades to come. The unity and cooperation among nations in the face of a common enemy were unprecedented. Yet, at the same time, the War on Terror has been a source of contention and division, a catalyst for a new era of geopolitical tensions. Despite its immediate destruction, September 11th's lasting impact is its enduring effects. The world we inhabit today is a direct product of the ripples created by that single act of terror. It has shaped our policies, our security measures, and our international relations. It altered our view of threats, crisis responses, and efforts to safeguard our communities. September 11, 2001, a day that changed the world, a day that will forever be etched in our collective memory. It highlights our weaknesses and our dedication to unity, resilience, and safeguarding our values. Thank you for coming along on this journey as we look back on the attack of 9/11. Please subscribe, like, and comment to support more content like this. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next episode.